BMW, famous for its fantastic sports cars from Bavaria, is now at a turning point in the electric vehicle revolution. Once a leader among traditional car makers, BMW is shifting gears back towards the next era of combustion engines. However, beneath the surface lies a looming crisis, quietly signaling trouble ahead. Let's uncover the hidden indicators pointing towards BMW's EV disaster. Number 5. BMW cancels $2.15 billion battery order. It is widely known that economic growth has slowed down a lot, especially in countries located in the Western Hemisphere. BMW is experiencing this slowdown as well, even though the company had a very impressive year last year, selling more than 375,000 electric vehicles. However, things began to change in the second half of 2023. And by 2024, the situation worsened significantly. As a result, every automaker is now reducing its production plans, and BMW, the well-known Bavarian car manufacturer, is following the same trend. The problem for BMW is not just the lack of demand. There are other issues troubling the company as well. A couple of weeks ago, officials from BMW made an announcement that they had decided to cancel a contract worth 2 billion euros, which is about $2.15 billion, with Northvolt. Northvolt is a battery maker from Sweden that was supposed to be the main supplier of batteries for BMW, the German car company. The reason for canceling the contract was that Northvolt was not able to deliver the batteries on time. Because of this delay, BMW had no other choice but to cancel the agreement that was originally signed in 2020. However, BMW officials clarified that this cancellation does not mean they are ending their cooperation with Northvolt. Instead of focusing on meeting the current production numbers, Northvolt will now concentrate on developing next-generation battery cells. On the other hand, BMW continues to show a strong interest in creating a high-performance company that makes circular and sustainable battery cells in Europe. What this means exactly is not entirely clear, but we can guess that, like other EV makers, BMW will also have to depend more on Chinese battery manufacturers. These Chinese companies already control a large part of the market and are involved in most stages of the battery production process. Therefore, even though BMW aims to establish its own sustainable battery production in Europe, it may still have to rely heavily on Chinese suppliers. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe buttons to show your support. If you've done that, let's continue. Number 4. A lot of reliability issues. BMW has never been known as the most reliable automaker, and its electric cars have proven to be no different. Additionally, the Bavarian automaker has already built a fairly significant history of recalls. Not too long ago, BMW had to recall a small number of its i5 and i4 models because of faulty battery cells that posed a serious fire risk. Fortunately, the problem was discovered in time, so most of the recall models had not yet reached their new owners. However, the situation was quite different last year. In that period, BMW had to recall over 14,000 different models, including the iX SUV, the i4, and the i7. This large recall highlights the ongoing reliability issues the company faces with its vehicles, including its electric models. All these electric cars had the same problem, a software malfunction that could lead to a loss of power and increase the risk of a crash. It turned out that the high-voltage battery electronic control unit software had an error. This error could cause an interruption of the electrical supply under certain conditions because a misdiagnosis could sometimes happen, making the electronic unit reset itself. Fortunately, BMW discovered this malfunction through its internal quality control process. However, this was still troubling because it was the second recall for BMW's EV lineup in less than a year. The company managed to fix the issue through free software updates. However, these problems are quite telling. As EV sales go up, so do recall notices. BMW's recalls add to the bigger picture, where problems are common in the EV market. Ford, Toyota, Tesla, and nearly every other EV maker have also issued recalls. Number 3. EV owners' mistreatment. This issue might not directly affect BMW's electric revolution, but it clearly impacts the company's reputation and shows how it treats its loyal customers. This is particularly true for owners of older BMW EVs, especially the i3. The i3 was BMW's first EV, a small hatchback that stopped being produced a few years ago. Now the problem for its owners is the high cost of service, especially the cost of replacing the battery. The i3 has an older battery design with a relatively small capacity and just 8 cells by today's standards. However, replacing its battery is still very expensive. According to Reddit users, BMW hasn't set a standard fee for battery replacement. It depends on the dealers. Dealers usually decide the price, so the cost can vary a lot. Reading a few Reddit posts will show you what we mean. Several users shared their experiences, revealing that battery replacements can easily cost over $30,000. One user even claimed they were charged $71,000 to replace a battery in a car that originally cost $45,000 when new. This awkward situation certainly harms BMW's reputation, especially among potential new EV owners. What's also interesting is that BMW isn't the only company doing this. Other automakers are doing similar things. For example, BMW's rival Mercedes-Benz charges between $17,000 and $20,000 to replace batteries in its hybrid models. These batteries are much smaller than those in electric models. This helps explain why EVs lose value quickly and why people are hesitant to buy them. Number 2, BMW will stay flexible beyond 2030. Unlike some competitors, BMW never fully revealed its plans to become an all-electric car maker. While some companies committed to this and then adjusted their plans, BMW was never clear on these matters. But based on their recent statements, it's apparent that BMW officials don't foresee a rapid electric vehicle revolution, as anticipated by European authorities and some experts. It seems BMW intends to continue competing in various markets well beyond 2030. Yes, CEO Oliver Zipse mentioned that the company aimed for EVs to make up half of its sales by the end of the decade. But that goal seems unlikely now. Despite this, officials affirm their commitment to electrification, maintaining a diverse strategy to meet market demands. Everyone can find the right drivetrain with us. It wouldn't be smart for our business to do otherwise, Zipse said, indicating BMW has no plans to stop making combustion engines anytime soon. Let's take the BMW 5 Series as an example of this new approach. BMW recently introduced an all-electric version of this model. At the same time, they will continue to offer gasoline and diesel engines, along with plug-in hybrid options, which are becoming more popular and make up 20% of their sales in Europe. Additionally, BMW is exploring hydrogen technology, unlike many of its competitors. Along with a few other automakers like Toyota, BMW is investing in hydrogen, which could become more prominent in the mainstream market in the future. BMW is prepared for any direction the market may take. Number 1. BMW develops new gasoline and diesel engines. Efforts towards a quick electric revolution are proving challenging, and the positive aspect is that BMW recognized this early on, unlike some competitors. Therefore, it's not surprising that BMW began developing new combustion engines some time ago. Yes, you heard correctly. The Bavarian automaker is focusing on the next generation of combustion engines, including both gasoline and diesel options. The head of development, Frank Weber, has also stated that BMW won't be abandoning internal combustion engines anytime soon. The company has begun investing in new diesel and gasoline engines because even if the most optimistic predictions about plug-in vehicles come true, at least half of the market will still prefer internal combustion cars. This applies not only to less developed regions with more relaxed emission regulations, but also to Europe, where regulations are very strict. Full electrification by 2035, as some had hoped, won't happen. Instead, combustion engines will continue to be a significant part of the market for a long time. Therefore, it's not surprising that the new Euro 7 regulations have been scaled back compared to their original proposal. Also, Euro 7 won't start until 2030, even though it was supposed to begin 5 years earlier. In simple terms, BMW's management is being practical and knows that the world isn't ready to give up on combustion engines so quickly. One big reason is that the charging stations for electric cars are scarce in most places worldwide. Plus, there isn't enough renewable energy to power all those electric cars. BMW officials also mentioned concerns about getting the raw materials, which China mostly controls. They also talk about how recycling electric cars and their impact on the environment are still touchy subjects. BMW emphasizes flexibility, a strategy that officials say is the best and benefits the company. Customers can choose the model and decide on the type of engine they want. This makes sense because there are many uncertainties with electric cars. BMW plans to keep offering gasoline and diesel engines, along with plug-in hybrid vehicles, well past 2030. Alright guys, we've come to the end of this video, and if you enjoyed it, do well to click on the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to check the other videos on our playlist. We've got some amazing content for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.